What's up, everybody? This is Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, welcoming you guys to Late Night Frights. My day has been bumped to Wednesday, as I don't think anybody really knows that just yet, but I know Chris has been bumped to Tuesdays, and Jordan, or Jay Sloan, is on Mondays, so Wednesday's my day. I guess we have a new guy on Thursday, so I hope you check everybody's videos out. But it is a children's horror theme week, and I don't have the DVD in my hand because it's in my mom's collection. My mom's collection's all packed up, but I am going to be talking about Gremlins, which is probably one of my favorite movies from my childhood. I remember growing up with it. I watched it probably quite a bit, especially renting it from the library, because we used to get VHS tapes from the library and you could keep them for like a week, and it was, free of charge unless they were late, which is when they charge you $2 a day. But it was just one of those movies that I can remember just being spooked and just loving it at the same time. But it basically deals with this kid named Billy, played by Zach Galligan, whose father brings him home an odd Christmas present called a Mogwai. And this Mogwai basically has 3 rules. You have to keep them out of bright light, don't get them wet, and no matter how much they cry or beg, you can't feed them after midnight. And so basically, this little Mogwai is named Gizmo, totally cute. I think that's one of my favorite things about the movie is Gizmo. I think he's just so cute. But, I'm going to try and keep this as spoiler-free as I can, but, basically, the mistake is made, he gets wet, and so, basically there's a bunch more of them, and they go from, little cute ones like Gizmo to these, like, really terrifying-looking monsters, and it's just after that, it's just really creepy, but really fun and funny at the same time. Like, there's this one part I remember, and this is one of my favorite parts of the movie. There's this cranky old lady who has to, like, ride a lift up the stairs, and the Gremlins actually, if I remember correctly, they do something to the chairlift, and it makes the power go super fast, so it throws the old lady out the window, and I'm like, well, you got what you deserved. But, like I said, it's probably one of my favorite childhood / horror movies, but, it's one of those movies where, if it's on TV, I'm gonna watch it. Oh, sorry guys, I had a runny nose. Usually the only time they really play it on TV is around Christmas time, since it is kind of a Christmas-themed movie. But, it's also got Phoebe Cates, I'm trying to remember who else. I think them are like the really big stars in it. Phoebe Cates, of course, from Fast Times at Ridgemont High. And Drop Dead Fred, she was also in Gremlins 2. Zach Galligan was in Gremlins 2, he was in Waxwork. I remember, I think it was Hoyt Axton who played the father. I'm not sure what else he's been in because I don't have my laptop with me, so I can't check IMDb or anything like that. But, it's one of those movies that I love to this day. It's one where I watch it like a few times a year because it's just one of my favorites. It's one of those movies where, I grew up with it, I love it, and I don't know what else to say. I'm trying to make this go over 5 minutes at least because, I'm trying to keep the review spoiler-free and all, but it was one of those movies where, I had a lot of fun with it. I'm sure everybody around here, or at least, who watches this channel has probably seen it, so, and I'm sure there's people who haven't, that's why I'm keeping the review spoiler-free, but, basically the Gremlins get loose in town, cause havoc, and it's up to Billy and his girlfriend, I don't remember what her name is, but it's up to these two to stop the Gremlins and basically, save the day. And so, they basically do that, and, but throughout most of the movie, these Gremlins are just causing hell all throughout town. It's just really funny to see. And this movie was actually directed by Joe Dante, who did The Howling, and it was produced by Chris Columbus, who I think wrote the script, and Steven Spielberg was a producer on it. But before Chris Columbus and Spielberg were involved, Joe Dante wanted to make it a darker, R-rated, actual straight-up horror movie. And then Spielberg came on and he's like, well, no, we have to make this more family-friendly, blah, blah, blah. And in my opinion, he did the same thing with Poltergeist. I think if Tobe Hooper had been left to do Poltergeist on his own, it would have been an R-rated, ghost story, which, don't get me wrong, I still love Poltergeist. I think it's a classic, but, I think there could have been more done with that. For it to only get a PG. Despite, what's in it. But maybe I'll review Poltergeist on my own channel one of these weeks, but, back to Gremlins. one of those movies where, I don't know, it's just one of those movies I can't help but love. I mean, it came out the year I was born, you know, like I said, directed by Joe Dante, written by Chris Columbus, produced by Steven Spielberg. You know, you have a lot of great people involved, you know, good effects artists, the whole 9 yards. I would probably give this movie a 4.5 out of 5, and you guys know I don't normally do, like, scoring or anything like that, because a lot of times I just review movies that I really like, but, you know, that's my thoughts on Gremlins, and I wanted to keep this as short as possible, so it'll upload quicker, but once again, it's Little Rocker Cutie 2005, also known as Andre, telling you to enjoy life, enjoy some Skittles, enjoy some Starburst, keep it forever horror, guys. And in the immortal words of my faithful partner Chris, or Buffy's Animan on my channel, he always says, eat some chicken. I'll catch you guys next week on Late Night Frights. Bye, guys.